The selected patterns or the information are represented in the form of patterns and it has been evaluated. The role of domain expertise. Domain expertise is very crucial under KDD and it is less critical when we consider data mining. Limited information where there will be incomplete or inaccurate data. The objective of data mining is to find or extract useful information from the data. Hello everyone, I welcome you all to the second session that's under 4th semester. Yes, the subject what we have selected for you is Fundamentals of Data Science, and under that the unit what we have started with is data mining. Over here, my name is Deepa Kutnikar. I'm working as an assistant professor under Department of Computer Science, Vidhyaashram, Temple of Excellence, MYSURU. Let's move forward and see what is the thing that we have discussed in our previous session. Yes, in our previous session, we did discuss the basic introduction of data mining. We did understood how data mining is going to occur, and we did discuss the definition, fundamental definition of data mining too. Later on, we did discuss there is something also called as KDD, which is nothing but knowledge discovery database, and we have discussed the steps with respect to KDD process. Then we did discuss different mining techniques and also data mining functionalities. So if you want to know and understand regarding these things, you have to go back and check our session 1. Let's move forward, and over here, this is the agenda of today's session. In today's session, we will be discussing the difference between KDD as well as data mining. Also, we will discuss the difference between DBMS, which is nothing but database management system, as well as data mining. Later, we will be discussing what is the different data mining techniques and different challenges, issues, as well as problems with respect to data mining. Then finally, we will be discussing what is a application of data mining. So all these are the things that we discuss in our today's session. So let's begin our session, starting with the difference of KDD as well as data mining. Let's understand the difference between KDD and data mining using this pictorial form. Yes, KDD, it starts with a data warehouse. Yes, there will be some set of data warehouse, which is an integration of different informations. From that, we will only select the required patterns or the information, okay, which is nothing but a selection. Once data has been selected or picked from that data warehouse, what's next? Yes, the next step, it is none other than data cleaning, wherein we will verify the data which we have picked up, whether it is having any repeated samples or any unwanted samples. We will be discarding that under data cleaning. Once data cleaning is done, it is sent for data mining. And once the mining criteria is done, then after data mining, we will be evaluating as well as interpreting the data, or we can also say it has a resultant information. Then finally, we will represent the knowledgeable information. So this is a complete KDD process. Now, let's move forward and understand what is the process for data mining. Yes, the process of data mining starts with again a data warehouse where we will be exploring the required information, that is data. Then what we'll do? We will pre-process the selected information on the data. All right, after pre-processing, what's next? It is none other than patterns evaluation. The selected patterns or the information are represented in the form of patterns and it has been evaluated. Next, the process is knowledgeable presentation. So this is a complete process for a data mining set. Now, let's understand the main difference over here. So, we have defined the process of KDD as well as data mining. Now, the data mining is a simple process under KDD. Here we can observe. So, data mining is one of the process under KDD, And the data mining over here, under this data mining, this is a complete criteria which takes place. Therefore, this is a complete difference between KDD as well as data mining. Now let's move forward and understand with parameters like what is the difference between KDD as well as data mining. With respect to first parameter, that is the definition. So the KDD, that is knowledge discovery database, can be defined as the process of identifying valid, novel as well as useful informations from the patterns as well as relationships inside the data. Then followed by data mining. Data mining is defined as the extraction of data or the information from a large set of data. That is the definition of KDD and data mining. The next parameter is the objective. The objective of KDD is to find knowledgeable data or the information. Similarly, the objective of data mining is to find or extract useful information from the data. Great. Next, what are the techniques used in order to perform KDD? So, the technique starts with data selection, then data cleaning, data integration, data transformation. Finally, that transformed data will be evaluated and recognized as different patterns, and then it is being evaluated as a knowledgeable data or information. Under data mining, the techniques which are used are, it starts with classification of data, then clustering or grouping of that data, then applying various regression rules or different association rules are applied on data in order to extract the information. So that is the technique that we use for data mining. Let's move forward and see various purpose. Then the output. The output of KDD is a complete structured information which gives us different rules or informations based on some statistical information, or we can correlate it with statistical representations. Similarly, the output for data mining, it includes patterns, various association rules, as well as insights that can be utilized in order to define the decision. Yes, that is the thing with respect to data mining. The next purpose is a focus. Under KDD, the focus is completely on discovery of some useful information or the knowledge. Similarly, with respect to data mining, the focus is completely dependent on patterns. Next, the role of domain expertise. Domain expertise is very crucial under KDD, and it is less critical when we consider data mining. Great. So this is a complete difference between KDD and a data mining. I believe you have got that difference. Now let's move forward and understand the difference between database management system as well as data mining. Under this, the first criteria that we can consider is a task. The primary task under database management system is to represent our information in a summarized format. Also, we can say under DBMS, the information or the data is being provided in a detailed form. When we come with respect to data mining, here the primary task includes knowledge discovery of different patterns as well as insights. The next purpose is a type of result. The type of result that we can expect under our DBMS is none other than informative, and the type of result that we can expect under data mining is none other than predictions as well as insights. So these can be defined under data mining. Now let's move a bit depth and understand like what is the method that's been utilized under DBMS. So the method that we use is none other than deduction. We will verify the information that is secured with a primary one. So that is a method which is deduction. Following up with data mining, the main method that is utilized here is an induction. Means we will be building new models. Further, we will apply it to the data and we will be resulting with a result or the final data. Now let's see a simple example for deduction under DBMS. Correct, right? So it forms a simple example. So we can consider an example of mutual fund. Under DBMS, what is the type or the task that we can consider is who purchased the mutual fund in last 3 years. But with respect to data mining, we can define an example, that is induction, right? Where we will build a new model. So what happens here is we'll predict based on the data. So the example is like who will buy the mutual fund in next 6 months or in next 1 year, in that way. So that is a complete difference between a DBMS as well as data mining technique. All right, now let's move forward and understand various data mining techniques. Data mining techniques starts with decision trees. So decision tree, we can just correlate this with a complete set of algorithms what we use in order to make the task in a easier way of representations, right? In the same way, decision tree, it will help in representing the visual information in order to make the decisions. So we can say here it is a visual representation of decision making process. That is a decision tree, which is a very first technique that can be utilized under data mining. Next technique that we can consider is rule induction. Induction in the sense generating. Over here, what happens is we will generate different rules from the data in order to support the decision making. Next technique is neural networks. Neural networks, as the name itself specifies, it is completely utilized to make complex relations modeling in order to support the decision making. Next type or the technique that is utilized under DM is clustering. Clustering in the sense grouping of data. So over here what we will be doing is we will group the data in order to form patterns, and from that pattern what happens? It will become easier and helpful to make a decision. So that is with respect to clustering. Next technique is association rule mining. Here, the relations are discovered between variables in order to support the decision-making task. So these are the key techniques that is very helpful and supportive in order to make decisions. Let's move forward and understand various issues that is faced in data mining techniques. The starting and the key issue is a data quality issue. So under here, we can expect few types, like there will be some noisy data which will be occurring due to errors, and then we can expect incomplete format of data due to missing variables or missing data. Also, there is something called as inconsistent information. So this forms through different formats of information or the data. So this we can expect under data quality issues. So these are the key issues that is faced under quality. The next type is data complexity issues. As the name itself says, the data sometimes it may be in a high dimensional way, correct? So that is one of a issue with respect to considering data mining technique. Then further, we can also say there might be some non-linear relations with respect to informations that can be considered, right? So yes, the next issue is non-linear relationships. Further, the last one is imbalanced data, which is caused due to unequal distribution of information. So these are the two key issues that is found under data mining. Let's move forward and see rest of the issues. Yes, the next issue is scalability issues, which includes large data sets where there will be a huge data which cannot be processed. So it is considered under scalability. The next thing what we can expect is a real-time processing. So we expect there should be a real-time processing, correct? The process should be fast and quick enough to support our fastness. Yes, these two are the issues that is faced under scalability issue. The next issue is security and privacy issues. Definitely there will be data breaches, correct? Yes, that is a primary one under security, or when we consider the privacy issues. Data breaches in the sense the unauthorized access for sensitive data will cause this data breaches, right? The next is data privacy, where while protecting or applying some rules, the data will be missed. So that is with respect to data privacy. The next type of issue is other issues, which is none other than lack of domain expertise, which says there will be limited understanding of information or the data. The next one is insufficient resource. Yes, there is a limited computing power as well as memory. So these are the various issues that is faced under data mining. Let's move forward and now see what are the different challenges that is faced under data mining. Yes, the first challenge is none other than emotional influences, where the judgment is taken based on emotional matters. So emotional influences are more, right? And the next is limited information, where there will be incomplete or inaccurate data. Next one is complexity. So this is also a very challenging part with respect to data mining, because the data is picked from data warehouse, right? Yes, there comes a complexity, which says the complex systems as well as environments are modeled. Finally, uncertainty. Uncertainty in the sense the information or the data will be unknown and it gives an unpredictable outcome. So it will form a challenge for data mining. The next issue or the challenge is time pressure, where there will be sometimes having very limited time to make a decision with respect to data. So that is a challenge for data mining. So these are various challenges that is expected under data mining. Now let's move forward and discuss various applications, that is data mining applications. Yes, absolutely. There are various applications where it starts with healthcare, then it is utilized in fraud detections, it is also utilized in GRM, that is general regression methods. It is used in manufacturing engineering as well as in the educational field. Also, it is used in financial banking, then in lie detection, as well as in the market basket analysis, which is done. So these are various applications of data mining. So this was all about today's session, as we have successfully completed our Unit 1 under Fundamentals of Data Science. Thank you and see you in our upcoming session, that's for Unit 2.